EA Sports.
Just kidding. There's no NFL Street 4. And what I actually showed you there was NFL Street Reborn, a modder updated NFL Street 2 with current players, likenesses, teams. Very cool project. Unfortunately, we're never going to get an official NFL Street game ever again. The team that did that was EA Big. They were basically disbanded in 2008. Who knows why? But they made 3 games and a ton of other games under the EA Big title like SSX, FIFA Street, NBA Street. Games that a ton of people, I think, still play to this day. I still have Street 1 and 2 on my shelf, and I bust them out periodically. Me and my friend group bought this game at launch, NFL Street 1. After seeing it in magazines and stuff, we were obsessed with the idea of being able to take these players in a 7-on-7 format and just go out back and throw down in the yard. It was incredible. Now, one of the best parts of these games was essentially being able to create a team and start your journey through a gauntlet of divisional football games where you basically earn points, unlock players, unlock clothing, plays, all of these different aspects. It was a great single-player experience that then bled over into the multiplayer experience, allowing you to use these new plays, these teams on head-to-head, and unlock fields in different parts of the game, which is basically a forgotten art at this point in single-player video gaming. Of course, the success of 1 and 2 brought 3, which essentially ruined the formula completely. It was so over the top. The game breakers were just borderline the stupidest inclusions of gameplay mechanics I've ever seen, and eventually they ended up moving to the next gen, which is where they started NFL Tour. This was supposed to be the successor of the Street games, which, if you played this, it was in a bargain bin within a month. No one played this game. It was so bad, and EA essentially killed all of their titles from the EA Big series shortly after they closed that studio down. This was just the linchpin that basically sealed the coffin. I guess I'm not sure why I'm talking about NFL Street 4 since it's literally never going to happen. The interesting part is it technically could. EA, when their license came up with the NFL, they basically renegotiated to have a non-exclusive simulation license. And the NFL basically retorted back, no, essentially saying no one else is trying to make football games, and since you're the only ones that are even developing them, we're going to get as much money out of you as possible. And no other developer right now seems to even be putting any development time into a football product beyond the guys at the Maximum Football. There's like ESG and a few other indie games out there that are floating around. Now, here's the current investors' mission statement from EA. Now, I highlighted the best part here for you. Their company overview is basically stating they're interested in doing live services and expanding upon that with their annualized football titles. So if you're like me and you want another game that's a single player experience for the most part, it's not going to fucking happen. Unless EA would be able to put some sort of like Ultimate Team card pack thing into this game, I guarantee you there's absolutely zero interest from their end to do that. And what's crazy is in the current climate of football that we live in, where the NFL is trying to globalize flag football and all of this outside stuff to get kids involved, this would be the perfect launch point for an experience like that. And what I mean by that is you're taking the ability to put our NFL athletes on the streets, the parks, the fields outside where kids play, and open up their imagination to be able to go out there and relive these games just like they're heroes they see on TV and on the field every Saturday. It's just mind-blowing to me that the corporate greed essentially has not only ruined sports video gaming, but most of what the PS5 and the current Xbox generation has been is just stupid remakes, which are stupid, easy to make. They're cheap. They don't require a lot of investment time from the developers. They could probably outsource a lot of that work. and we're left with a bunch of just generic cookie cutter titles and or Dark Souls ripoffs if we're a single player gamer. Mostly that's what I am at this point in my life. I guess part of growing up is just accepting the fact that we had it just too good, and NFL football gaming peaked in that 2000s to that 2010 range. Just like Madden, I've just had to mentally sit down and accept we're never going to get another one of these titles. Luckily, through the modding community and a few resources online, you could still go out and relive these games with updated rosters, gameplay elements, to basically refresh the experience like we had it when we were, growing up, or kids, young adults. This NFL Reborn game is one I'd really like to get my hands on, but unfortunately I don't have a powerful enough rig to run a lot of these games. They're not easy to get into, and it takes a lot of time to learn how to get this stuff running on current PCs. But luckily we can go back to our PS2s, our Xboxes, bust these things off the shelf, and relive that anytime we want to. EA can't do anything about it. That's your boy User. This is my coverage of a little bit of my retro gaming, and hopefully you enjoyed this video.